welcome to another live stream. I'm XGW Caleb, and today I have a little bit of a story to tell you with some repercussions for the channel. But first of all, thank you all so much for being here. I have been wanting to stream for a while. Let me just check that everything is ready and live. Are we live? Let me just make sure. Yeah, perfect. All right. It looks like everything is perfect. Hi, everybody. What? I'm seeing here in the comments. I can't bring him up because I'm using a different thing. But XJW Benjamin Tower. No, sorry. Bilbo Bolsero is number one. He has a little bit of a crown. Is that what is Bilbo Bolsonaro my number one fan? Anyway, thank you all so much for being here in the Rocket Roger. Rocket Roger has another crown number 2. What is this? What is the crown? Are you two my biggest followers? I don't. Should I send you a little Sparlock figurine? Anyway, thank you so much for being here. I want to tell you a little bit of a story that happened to me about a month and a half ago. Let me just start. Let me just paint you a picture like this. I am kneeling in my bathroom floor with a huge pain in my stomach. And I can't stop throwing up. I cannot stop doing it. I just keep throwing up over and over and over and over again. I've been throwing up for hours. And I would go to keep throwing up for the rest of the day. It started in the morning. I just got up. I drank a little bit of water. And then I just started throwing up for the entire day, almost 24 hours. The next day I go to a doctor. And he says that I have an infection. He gives me some meds. I started taking those meds. And then it happens again. I cannot stop throwing up. The pain is unbearable. It's even worse than me throwing up. And it got to a point where I ended up in the hospital. I couldn't afford private hospitals over here because I live a very frugal lifestyle. I'll go into it in a bit. But I get to the hospital. The hospital doesn't have enough resources to treat me. They transfer me to a different hospital. And then during the transfer, the pain just slowly stops. I get to the other hospital. Both of them are public hospitals, by the way. And in the public hospital, the big one that is an hour away from here, and that my partner had to drive me to because there weren't any ambulances available. They tell me that is, yet again, an infection. They give me different kinds of meds. But then the pain is completely unbearable. The pain comes back. And that is a Thursday. And I am in deep pain without being able to get up of the bed, without being able to do anything. I can't even sleep because of the pain. I keep squirming around because the pain is just so bad. And I still feel nauseous. I feel terrible. Right? At that point, I don't know exactly what to do because since I started doing XGW Caleb, I spend a lot of time doing XGW Caleb, so much so that I live a very, very frugal lifestyle to be able to do Caleb because, Caleb has never, this channel has never really been sustainable whatsoever. I've been doing this for, I was checking it, I've been doing this for close to 4 years now. 4 years in a month, which is insane. But it doesn't really generate a lot of money, and it's fine. I don't care. I don't care about money. I just doing this, Caleb, is just something that I need to do, right? It's just the way that I see it. which is why I spend as much time as possible doing Caleb and as little time as possible doing my actual job or doing other things that could actually make me money, right? So fortunately, I set up a I set up a post on XJW Caleb on the community tab, and I tell people about the situation, and I tell them, hey, I can't really afford to go to the doctor, the public hospital just told me to, that they can't do anything unless I'm literally dying, and they just gave me some meds, and I feel like shit. So some people are very kind, and they send me some donations. And I finally am able to visit the doctor the next day, a private doctor this time, a gastroenterologist. And the gastroenterologist, he is examining me, and he determines that what I have is an ulcer, an active bleeding ulcer, because by this point, I've been pooping black, deep black, for the past 5 days, right? Fortunately, I was about to need a transfusion, but unfortunately, I didn't end up needing a transfusion. He gives me different meds. Things kind of start looking up after 5 days of just the worst kind of suffering that I've ever experienced. It really felt like torture. The pain did not go away. I kept trying to throw up, but I had nothing in my stomach. I hadn't even eaten in 5 days. I had only had electrolyte and water. So I start taking the meds on Monday, and on Monday I start getting a little bit better, slowly but surely. It was in the time, in between those throwing up episodes, by the way, if you want to place it on a timeline, I released the Mark O'Donnell video, telling people to go support Mark O'Donnell. He's an amazing activist. I don't consider myself an activist, but I do consider him an activist. And it was just in between throwing up episodes that I managed to finishing putting it up together, and then uploaded it. And then I wasn't even here in the studio because I was just in bed. But I thought that was an important video to make. So after a while, I finally get better. I don't want to make this too long because it was the most horrifying thing that I've ever been through. But I don't want you guys to relive this. Suffice to say, by Monday I start different meds, not antibiotics, and I start to very, very, very slowly get better. It took about a month to regain my strength because I was just, I didn't eat for 5 days. I was just throwing up, right? So after that, I just went again to a gastroenterologist, a different gastroenterologist, because I didn't feel like the guy that was attending me, and she thinks that there's just something wrong with my stomach, and I need an endoscopy, which is extremely expensive, right? By then, I had to stop uploading some videos on XJW Caleb. You may have noticed, you may not, because I just needed to work, so I could afford to overdraft my credit card so I could get the endoscopy. But anyway, I finally got the endoscopy a week ago. And the endoscopy, it looks like I had a little bit of gastritis and a little bit of other issues. They got a biopsy, and we are still waiting on the results. I need to go back again next week, hopefully. Once the doctor gets all of the results, I needed to do a whole bunch of studies, blood studies, stool studies, an x-ray, just a lot. I ended up spending over $1,000 just in all of that stuff, which I get. If you're in the United States, you're probably gonna be like, what, $1,000? That's cheap. That is what it cost me to just enter the hospital. But in Mexico, and for me, again, since I live a very frugal lifestyle, that is a lot of money for me, right? So anyway, I'm not asking for money. It's already spent. You don't need to worry about that. That's not where this is going. I already bought all of that. It's already paid for. Don't worry about it. But here's the thing. They don't know exactly what's wrong with me yet. Most tests, the blood tests and all of that stuff, they came out fine. My gallbladder is fine. I seem to have a very irritated stomach. But everything else seems okay. But this isn't the first time that happened. A very similar episode happened to me last year. there was just this one day when I just started throwing up, and I just had this deep, deep, deep pain in my stomach. And again, I didn't know what that was. I went to the hospital. They gave me some fluids, and then it just, as fast as it started, it just ceased. It again kept me down for like a month without like my full strength or anything. And then in February, I also had a gastritis. And then before that, I also had like this episode where I just threw up with no pain, but I just threw up for like an hour, right? Now, what does this have to do with Jehovah's Witnesses? Why did I title this Jehovah's Witnesses Coming to the Hospital or whatever? Well, because that made me remember something. When I was a kid, a Jehovah's Witness kid, I used to get stomach episodes probably like 2 or 3 times a year. And I thought that was normal, right? I was just used to being sick in my stomach. And during elementary school, and all of that stuff, I just kept getting sick, and it was just, I thought it was normal to get sick 3 times a week. I mean, 3 times a year. But things changed when I stopped going to the meetings. I made my partner, and then things just started to change. I just did not get sick. All throughout my 20s, I'm in my 30s now. All throughout my 20s, I did not get sick. It was like a miracle. I kept waiting to get sick almost, but it just wasn't happening. And I didn't know why. But now I'm getting sick again. And I think I have a bit of an idea of why I'm getting sick. You know, I've been reading this book, The Body Remembers, by Babette Rothschild. And it talks about how trauma can hurt people. It can hurt people in different ways. Let me just read you something real quick from her book. This is quoting Hans Selye, who is pretty much the guy who realized that stress was a thing in the early 20th century. And he says, for scientific purposes, stress is defined as a non-specific response of the body to any demand or stressor. It was first recognized by evidence of adrenal stimulation, shrinkage of lymphatic organs, gastrointestinal issues, gastrointestinal ulcers, and loss of body weight with characteristic alteration in the chemical composition of the body. And this kind of made something click. I talked to Jake about this because I know that Jake has also had like some stomach issues, way worse than mine, by the way. Like they don't even compare. But he told me that like every single person that he knows, or more people that he knows, including people in his family, have gastrointestinal issues. It is a common issue in Jehovah's Witnesses. And then he told me that you either develop a gastrointestinal issue or an immunological issue like lupus, right? Is it immunological? Let's hope so. And then I start thinking, okay, gastrointestinal issues are related to Jehovah's Witnesses. Do I know a Jehovah's Witness that also has this? And I quickly realized that almost every Jehovah's Witness that I know of have gastrointestinal issues. My best friend from childhood, the guy who was in my congregation when I was like 4, right? We have been friends forever. He has always dealt with gastrointestinal issues, like just all his life. My own mother, she does not have gastrointestinal issues, but she has lupus, which is, again, like another way that stress apparently can manifest itself. And then that's got me thinking, okay, well, am I being affected by Jehovah's Witness propaganda? Every time that I usually get comments, a lot of comments, being like, oh, thank you for taking one for the team because I couldn't bear to watch this or whatever. I bet it's very triggering for you and all of that stuff. And every time that I got those comments, I used to very confidently reply with, No, it doesn't trigger me. It doesn't trigger me anymore. I'm used to it. If anything, it just bores me. That's the hardest part. It just bores me, and uh, it's just hard because of it. Sometimes I just have a hard time paying attention. But I can't help to notice that my gastrointestinal issues stop and then start again as soon as I go back to getting involved with the Jehovah's Witnesses. Blind Dave says, "Why do I get to blame my diabetes on the fact that I was raised Jehovah's Witness? It happened when I was 5, but come on." I mean, yeah, probably. I recommend that book, The Body Remembers, to anyone who has issues. And that is the first thing the first reason why I wanted to do this live stream, because I wanted to reach out to you and be like, do you have gastrointestinal issues? Do you have lupus? And are you still involved with the Jehovah's Witnesses somehow? Because those two may be connected. Do you know a lot of people with gastrointestinal issues or with issues with their immune system? Because that could be stress as well, right? So I've just been dealing with those issues for a while. I'm now way better. I even got a haircut. Again, I don't want you guys to worry about me. I am A-okay. But whenever people ask me, hey, do you get triggered by things? I feel like I can't, in good conscience, say that I don't get affected by it. Because, I mean, I feel that I don't get affected by it, right? But the evidence seems to point a different way. Which is why I just need to do some changes. And I need to do some changes because for 4 years, basically, I've been doing XGW Caleb. And again, Caleb doesn't generate any money. The channel doesn't generate, it does generate like about $400 a month, but it's just not enough. It's not enough to pay for rent. It's not enough to pay for anything, which is why I have another job, which is why I was working on different projects to make more money. If there's like a little project, like a freelancer project that I can work on, I just jump into it. And I spend all of the rest of my time just doing this, doing Jehovah's Witness stuff. I know that you may not notice it, but whenever I do, for instance, an analysis for JW Broadcasting, it takes me about a week because I go segment by segment. I have to read up on it. There's a lot of things that I just don't mention in JW Broadcasting because it's part of the investigation that I do before doing the analysis. And it takes a long, long time to do all of that stuff. And I kind of just have to be obsessed, right? Sometimes I'm with my friends and I'm just thinking about how I can better debunk whatever Stephen Lett said, or I have like this eureka moment where I'm like, oh yeah, like this is perfect for a YouTube video, right? But XGW Caleb is pretty much my life right now at this point. It's what I do. I don't know why I do it, but it just feels like I need to do it. So I'm not going to stop doing XGW Caleb. This isn't a video being like, I think XGW Caleb is making me sick, so I need to stop it. No, I can't stop it, even if I wanted to. It feels like I'm not able to, right? Something in me moves me to make these videos because I see an idea for a video about Jehovah's Witnesses that doesn't exist, and then I cannot be happy until I make it exist, right? Sometimes Jake posts something that I want to talk about, and instead of being pissed, I'm like, oh, thank Christ, I don't have to make a video about it. Now a video exists about it. And, it's like a compulsion, right? I will not stop doing this. But I do need to change some stuff because, well, I'm scared. What I went through was probably the most physically painful experience of my life, and it left me so anxious and traumatized, I guess, that right now I can't even smoke a joint anymore. I can't even smoke a toke anymore. I started developing cannabis anxiety disorder, and it's like since that happened, there's a switch that just flicked, and now instead of getting relaxed and helping me with my anxiety whenever I smoke, I get the opposite. I get extremely anxious. I feel like I'm gonna die. And I don't know why, but I feel that it's probably because my head feels like a little bit different. Like I feel a little bit like lightheaded. If you ever tried it, you know that that's just a normal thing, right? But I think it just reminds me in a way of just being sick, because I also felt lightheaded and just like a little bit dizzy and all of that stuff. And right now, if I want to smoke a toke, it does the opposite, which kind of sucks, because I have tried pretty much every medicine that is for anxiety before I even started smoking, and they either don't work or they make me into a zombie where I just can't even do anything. I live through a fog throughout like the whole day, right? So again, it's like I used to have like this body that used to help me when I was anxious, and now my body has turned my enemy, and it's kind of horrifying, because all of this makes me tense, and now I don't even have the one thing that I used to relieve that tension. I'll have to start doing crack or something. I don't know, but the point is, I need to change something in the channel. I'm not telling you this because I want you to be, oh, woe's me. We should donate money, which again, this isn't about that. As I told you, all of that is already paid for. I mean, with my credit card, but whatever. But I do need to start changing things, because, I mean, it has been 4 years of doing this content, and I can't stop doing it. But I need to figure out a way to do it that is not that is not hurting, that does not hurt me or something. And also, I need to figure out other ways to make money, because obviously, like, living frugally is fine until you get sick, right? Because getting sick is very expensive, and then you don't have money for that. And now I don't know if I'll get sick again. We don't know what cost it yet, and so I'll need some sort of health insurance. I'm already, again, you don't have to worry about that. I am already working on other projects. I even started another channel last year, and I'm starting to spend a little bit more time in it. It's completely independent from XGW Caleb. It doesn't even talk about the same things, and it has already, like, since that channel is made to appeal to a wide audience, instead of this channel which only appeals to you guys who, because you've been a Jehovah's Witness, or you are very close to it. Like, we have a very tiny niche over here, right? Which is why this channel like doesn't do great. And also, like, I speak my mind way too much. I feel I show my personality, my biases, all of that stuff, like, way too much. It's not really appealing, right? But the other channel is completely different. It has a wide appeal, and I have a completely different audience over there. Some people have recognized me, and I even had one person who was like, "You copied this video from XJW Caleb," because I recycled a script that I used for an old video that didn't really do well, and I kind of like redid it. I broke it down, I redid it, I added some jokes and all of that stuff, and then I released it in that other channel, right? And one person, it was insane, because one person, it was like he connected every single dot except one. Because they were like, this video is very clearly based on this other video. XJW Caleb did it. XJW Caleb should deserve credit. Why are you guys paying attention to this? This guy is only stealing stuff. Which, I mean, thank you. That is a really nice thing. Like, if that was really happening, like that, thank you so much for worrying about my IP or whatever, right? But no, like that was me. I have a different channel that I don't post about here, and that is bigger than XJW Caleb, because I need different ways to make money so I can take care of this, right? Bob Kelly says, I know some heavy weed users with severe reactions, rare CHS, cannabis hyperstimulation syndrome, and regular users, so no problem for me. That is not, it's not CHS, because CHS usually shows up when you've been smoking for over a decade. And I've been smoking for as long as I have XGW Caleb, which is like 4 years. It doesn't really fit. And the other symptoms also don't fit. If it was CHS, I would have to have several episodes a week, not just a few episodes a year. and they wouldn't be that painful. And it's extremely rare. Anyway, I'm already not smoking anymore. I'm hoping, however, that I can just do a THC break for like a month or two, and then I can go back and I'll have my anxiety med again working. But I don't know if that's gonna happen, because I've been reading a lot of people who developed cannabis-induced anxiety, and they say that they just were never able to smoke again. Like that's just the way that they feel now, and they just cannot tolerate it anymore. So I'm kind of afraid, because again, that is the one thing that I had to control of that. And now that I don't have like my med, now that I don't have now that I need to like properly have an actual job that makes money so I can afford this, I need to start changing things a little bit in the channel. You may have noticed that this month I didn't release a deep analysis in JW Broadcasting. I'm trying to, I just released a summary with like some criticism, but it wasn't an analysis in depth that is an hour long like I used to make that. I usually just break down into the segments. I don't know if that's better. That took like a little bit less time, and it was like, I guess, less trigger for me. So it's just a little change that I need to make for now. I hope I know that a lot of you really like the analysis, and I hope you guys don't miss it. Maybe if you know, the moment I get better, if it turns out that it was a different thing, the biopsy is like, oh no, don't worry, it's a weird infection, it's a H. pylori or whatever, which I had a test for and it came back negative. But if the biopsy says that it's positive, then that's it. You know, I just have an infection. I can go back to doing XGW Caleb and all of that stuff the way that I like it, the way that I know how to do it, the way that I like doing it. But now I need to just kind of like step back a little bit. That doesn't mean that I'm gonna stop making videos, though. That just means that my videos, the style of my videos, maybe are gonna change. I don't want the quality to change, so maybe the quantity has to go down a little bit. But it just, look, I've been thinking a lot, because I'm like, I should just stop. I should just stop XGW Caleb. I should. If it's hurting me, even if there's like a tiny chance that it's hurting me, I shouldn't be doing this. But then I'm like, no, okay, I'll just make like the videos that I need to make, and then I'll be done. And then I realized that that's literally what I've been thinking. That has been my mindset since I started XGW Caleb. When I started XGW Caleb, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna make a handful of videos because I have some things to say about the religion, and then I'll be done, right? I'll just leave. I didn't know that I would have 4 years worth of things to say, and I still have. I bought a whiteboard. Look, let me just show you. It's hanging right over my desk, and it has like the pending XJW Caleb videos, and every time that I do one of these, I remove it, and then I add like two other ideas for videos. I still. Whenever I saw some people when I did the Wally video, which wasn't very popular, I saw some people were like, oh, you know, you're losing, you don't have any ideas for videos. No, I have plenty of ideas for videos. If anything, I don't have the time or the money to make them the way that I want to make it. So I think I just need to focus on those videos, the important videos that I have written down, because sometimes JW Broadcasting, it takes forever. Sometimes it takes like half of the month, and then I just have another 2 weeks, and then I have to balance that with work, and then I have to balance that with like things that actually make money, and so I can just, you know, support myself. But so now I just need to tweak that a little bit. I think I'm just gonna start doing shorter videos. I still want it to be as good as possible. So if you guys like, please could leave in the comments why you like my videos, what of my videos do you like, what aspects you like of my videos. That would be really helpful, because I don't want you guys to be like, oh wow, like this channel turned out to shit, huh? Like he got sick and then he did not make any effort to make videos anymore. I don't want that. I don't want whatever it is that you guys like about my channel, I don't want it to go away, because I am not going away. I am doing this XGW Caleb until I'm done or until I'm dead. Like, just one of those two things. I don't think I'll die. Look, gastrointestinal issues, they're horrifying, but they don't usually kill you. So I'm being facetious on that. Don't worry about that. Rocket Jogger says, just let alone is worth 100 videos. I literally have, look, I'm supposed to do like a Stephen Led video just on him. I already have a video just on him, and I want to do another video. Like, you are right. It is like, there's a lot of stuff to make videos about, and I'm working on a book that I want to show you guys, and there's just so many things that I'm working on. But it's just, now I have like this fucking disease that apparently is caused by like watching propaganda or whatever, and I need to square that with my need to make videos, I guess, here on XGW Caleb. So that was the first thing that was the other thing that I wanted to tell you, that things are going to change a little bit in XJW Caleb, because I need it for my health, right? However, I did want to make this video. I didn't want to just change things around here, because I feel like I owe you guys an explanation. You guys, I know that I would still be doing this if nobody was watching the videos, right? I would still be doing XGW Caleb videos. Like, it's just a compulsion. I can't stop myself. But the fact that you're here, the fact that you're watching, the fact that you're commenting, the fact that you are engaging, the fact that, you know, sometimes you leave like super nice comments. I have people that are like, oh my God, I never realized it, and now like I'm not afraid of Armageddon because I never thought about this, or now I don't think the governing body are reliable because of this point that you pointed out. That makes it so much better to make this, because again, I'll be doing this for nobody, but the fact that you guys are here, it's just amazing. I just make videos for you guys now. It feels so. I feel like I just needed to tell you guys what is going on, and I also wanted you guys to think about yourselves, about your health, because this seems to be a very common problem that people don't really talk about in cults. This gastrointestinal issues, immunosuppressive issues, all of that stuff, it can be a result of being stressed all the time because you're a Jehovah's Witness. It can be a direct result of being a Jehovah's Witness. And I think it feels to me like the evidence and everything that I've been reading, everything that I know about Jehovah's Witnesses, which granted is far more than I thought I would know. It points towards these two issues being connected. So I don't know what to do. I need to change a little bit of Caleb. I need to probably make fewer videos. M. Arnold says, I love your essay style videos. All right, perfect. Maybe I can just focus more on like essay videos that I can just write down and just, sit down for like an hour and then rest for like a day or two and then go back to it. Because I'm afraid I don't want to get sick again. It was horrifying. But if I want to get sick, but if I am sick again, I want to be able to afford the treatment, right? So now I also need, to spend more time than I was spending before on things that actually do generate money. Because what if I get sick again? And what if I don't have money to go again to an actual hospital? Because in the public hospital, they just told me, yeah, no, you're fine. Like, unless you're dying, we can't do anything for you. Just get better at home. They are extremely like overwhelmed. So things are changing in the channel a little bit. I really don't like the fact that I need to change things on XGW Caleb, but I hope that I can just I hope that this is just a temporary change, and I hope that with this live stream, Rocket Jogger says, I like the comedy style because the whole religion is comedy. Well, the other channel is literally just like surrounded with my comedy style, like surrounding my comedy style. So I think that's why it's way better than XGW Caleb. Like, you know, I actually get hundreds of thousands of views nowadays in that channel. But that channel also, like, I need to spend quite a bit of time editing and all of that stuff with that channel. So, and you know, I have a job as well. So I have a lot of things on my plate right now, and I need to figure out a way to do things in a healthy way. I need to minimize the chances of me being in the hospital again. I am so afraid. I have no words to describe how afraid I am of that happening again, and how frightful it is to know that we don't know what caused it, and therefore I can't like fully protect myself right now. I have some medication. I changed my diet as well. I removed like all irritants and all of that stuff just so I have a better shot. But yeah, things are changing in the channel, and I hope that they're for the better. But I also hope that you guys can see this, and you guys can apply, you know, like this, whatever it is that you learn from this, you can apply it to yourselves. Because I think that if you start wondering, okay, how many people do I know with gastrointestinal issues or with immunological issues, I think you're going to be surprised. And you may even be surprised to find out that you are the person with those issues. And if you have those issues, then you should probably get out of the Jehovah's Witness religion. Stop engaging with them. Speed up your PMO getting out strategy, you know, because it can be very damaging for your health in ways that you may not even know. We all know about the trauma that it causes and all of that stuff, but seldom do we talk about what the trauma does to your body, and it can destroy your body. I mean, again, this is just one gastrointestinal issue. I'm not by far like one of the people who is like the most sick in the stomach, right? Like, look at Jake. Jake was in the hospital like several times. He needed like blood transfusions and all of that stuff. Like, it's just, and he's still like a freaking champ. Like, he's so brave. I even texted him because I was so afraid. Even like before the endoscopy, I was just so afraid. And I'm like, how do you do it? Like, you don't have any fears about like these kinds of like procedures. And I can't even sleep because they're gonna put a camera down my throat. So yeah, sorry if this is like a little bit random. As you can tell, I don't have. I try to get all of my thoughts in order, but it's just a little bit hard because there's so many things around this. But I think we can just close it with this. We've been streaming for like 37 minutes. We can just close it with this. Being in a cult, not just being a Jehovah's Witness, but being in a cult damages you mentally, damages you physically, and damages people around you as well. Which is why I can't stop doing XJW Caleb. Right now, I'm going to Mexico City because my wife Rindala, it's going to Syria to visit her parents. Again, usually I would have also gone, but since I started XJW Caleb, I haven't visited them. And I wanted to do a Bethel tour, not in Warwick, obviously, but in Mexico City. That was my original plan. But now I can't. The plan now is just to like kind of like hopefully rest a little bit and just relax and edit more videos, and that's it. So now I have to stop doing some things, doing some projects that I wanted to do. I have to like leave some projects like halfway done for now. But I am working very, very, very hard to get better, to be healthier, to have a better more resistant body and mind, so I can keep doing this, because I just can't stop myself. I'll be able I will always do this. I guess until I'm done. I won't stop now. I'll stop until I'm done, and that has always been the case. I said that since I started doing this, and that is what I'm saying right now. So yeah, I think that's the video. Take care of yourselves. Please make sure that you are healthy, especially if you are in this cult or any other cult. I know that some people watch my videos because they are in a different cult, and cults are kind of the same. They use the same tactics. So debunking the tactic that the Jehovah's Witnesses use debunks a tactic that cults use in general. So if you're in a cult, please take care of yourself. Please make sure that your body and mind are as good as they can be. Meditate, not the Jehovah's Witness way. Go to a psychiatrist. Go to your physicals, because this is something that can definitely damage your health. It has damaged the health of millions. And it is probably damaging your health as it's probably damaging mine. So, yeah, that's it. That's the live stream. Thank you so much. That's kind of a bummer, right? Like, I don't want to end it in a bummer. But, guys, this is all temporary, all right? I really hope that this is all temporary. I really hope that this is nothing, right? There's a chance that this is nothing. And I really hope that is what it is, right? Nothing, just a weird episode, or just a weird tiny infection that we haven't figured out, and then I can just go back to like doing all of that stuff the way that I wanted to do it, right? I hope that that's the case. But even if that's the case, that still means that you may still get sick, right? Because you are probably still part of the Jehovah's Witnesses, even if you are just engaging with them like I am, outside, just watching their videos and all of that stuff. So yeah, I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for like watching all of my videos. Thank you so much for engaging with this channel, and thank you so much for supporting me. And I hope you can just support me in this little time. I hope you don't leave. I hope that I still maintain the things that you like about the channel, despite the changes that I need to make. And I hope you guys are happy and healthy.